If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio. And there's so many guys in this era that are little boys, but they're of an age when they should be a man. You know, and I just find that really embarrassing that two people can be like 35 years old. One is just kind of really got their shit together. And I'm not talking about success. They just live a better life. They're up at 4, 5 a.m. They've got rid of all the like old childish habits of like gaming till 4 a.m. in the morning, waking up at 2 p.m. the next day, eating a packet of Doritos instead of an actual breakfast, you know, the next morning. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about 30 and 40-year-old boys. And I've said that on purpose, 30, 40-year-old boys. They're not men, okay? There's so many guys in the world that you'll see somebody who you think is like 28 years old, and actually they're 38. They're just still wearing hoodies and, you know, they're still bumming around. They're still, you know, wearing flip-flops and shorts in summer and not really taking care of themselves and, you know, just lying around with kind of that late 20-year-old gut and just sitting and playing video games. And you're like, buddy, did you never wake up? Did you never realize that you get one life? And when you're young, this is the problem, okay, guys? When you're in your teens, you're in your 20s, whatever, it's... My frame's not really in the camera, hang on. There we go, guys, everything's live. Not really, but it feels that way. I like authenticity rather than cutting shit. But when you're in your teens and you're in your 20s, you know, it's very easy to have two separate groups of people. There's the guy who bums around and smokes weed all day. Nothing wrong with smoking weed, but, you know, not if you're sat there doing it every day and nothing else. Then you got the group of guys who are like going out there and trying to make something of themselves, but you can't really distinguish between the two because everybody's starting out, you know, everyone's at the same kind of level. But that gap really begins to grow when you get into your like 30s and 40s, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was watching an interview today with the one of the Winklevoss twins. He was talking about Ethereum and Bitcoin. I think that he's a really intelligent guy. You saw the post that I put out earlier. He's a massive opportunist, or both of them are, but I really like that one. I can't remember his name. And he was in his like plush house, unbelievable house. It looked really, really nice. Everything was kind of modern and it was neat. It was tidy. It was all kind of tucked away. He's wearing nice clothes. He sat there. He's well groomed, you know, a strong looking guy. Everything was just as it should be, and he's 39, you know, everything is as it should be expected at 39. And he's there, he's intelligent, he's speaking well, he's talking about what could happen with Ethereum and Bitcoin, you know, things that matter in the world right now, and he's pushing them forwards, and he just seems as though he's mastered life, you know? Whereas you could get another guy who's 39 years old, and this, I'm not saying, guys, you have to get to a certain age and be successful. I'm just saying, just try and make a better version of yourself. Like at some point you have to wake up, because you could be another 39-year-old guy, you're the same age, but people don't take you seriously. They think you're like 25. That's never a good look. That's never a good image. Okay? Like I remember my old mentor. We kind of fell out over a lot of different things with different people. He was always like in hoodies and stuff, always thought the gym was lame, never wanted to really, he was a business mentor, not, you know, life mentor in that sense, otherwise it wouldn't have made sense, right? But for business, he was fantastic, really intelligent guy, massively successful, but he didn't really like the same stuff that I liked, and I believe that men of a certain age, you know, should be going to work in like a tailored suit. They should look fantastic. They should be in the gym 5-6 days a week. They should be up at 5 a.m. He was like the opposite. You should work at 3. You should wake up at 3 p.m. work until you're late. He's like, it doesn't really matter. And I remember there was one day, and this is just my personal perspective, you know, I might be wrong on this. There might be other people that are like, but look at Facebook. They all came in shorts and sandals and made billions. That's a fair point. You know, I think personally it's a rare circumstance, but it is a very fair point. But I remember one day I was walking through the park in Toronto. I think it's called Dufferin Park. And I remember seeing this guy get out of a car. It was like a Sunday, and he was like taking his wife and kids, I guess this is what I've deemed, right, to like his mum's house or something like that. That's kind of the vibe I got from just walking past for like 15 seconds. And he gets out of a really nice car, okay, which my mentor was always against, which I am, I somewhat agree with that. I somewhat agree with you shouldn't put money into things that you can't really afford. I think there's much better things out there than a car. But this guy just had his shit together. He got out of his car. He opened the door for his wife. His wife got out, whatever. He was wearing like a nice shirt and jeans or trousers, nice expensive shoes and whatnot, nice watch. Like he looked well groomed. Like he looks his age, and not in a negative sense. Like he looked his age in a life sense, if that makes sense. His car was nice. He then got the kid out, took care of the kid, went up and greeted the relatives, whether it's his parents or his in-laws, whatever. Gave them a kiss and a hug and was chatting confidently, making strong eye contact, good body language. And then they just kind of walked into the house. Sounds like I was just kind of fucking stalking from the bushes or something. But that's what I saw when I was walking up this long straight road. And I compared that to the guy, my mentor, who was what I would deem was the same age. If I'd met him for the first time, I think he was younger. He had quite a youthful complexion as well. But I would assume that, based on me knowing the guy, I knew that he was the same age, okay? Roughly what I assumed that guy was. And I just thought, God, the difference there is massive. And you don't necessarily have to be a certain type. It's nice to have differential on this planet. It's nice to have people wearing different things, being into different things, not being dedicated to one certain thing. It's refreshing to have that. But at the same time, me personally, and some of you might disagree, I don't think so because of the nature of this channel. But me personally, I think a man should be a man. I think once you get past a certain age, it should be dressing well, wearing not necessarily expensive clothes, but very well styled clothes that suit you. I think it should be high-end brands. You shouldn't have Supreme plastered across a fucking hoodie at 38 years old. I personally think that should be a plain jumper, like a Massimo Dutti plain cashmere jumper or something. That's just me. That's the kind of vibes that I get. Now I'm not doing that yet, but you guys know from history what I've told you is I'm saving every penny I can now. But when I'm in a position to do that, 100% I'm going to dress well. 100% I'm going to wear things like nice shoes and nice watches and, be very well groomed and have a nice car that you're getting out of and stuff, and it's always kept clean, and there's not McDonald's wrappers in the front seat, and the house that you live in is immaculate, and it's all the way that it's laid out is here's my office, it's set out here, it's perfect, it's there. In my kitchen I have a reverse osmosis machine. It's all about health for me. I get up at 4-5 a.m. Here's my structure. Those sort of things I think just are the embodiment of a successful, modern, powerful man. And there's so many guys in this era that are little boys, but they're of an age when they should be a man. And I just find that really embarrassing that two people can be 35 years old. One is just kind of really got their shit together. And I'm not talking about success. They just live a better life. They're up at 4-5 a.m. They've got rid of all the old childish habits of gaming till 4 a.m. in the morning, waking up at 2 p.m. the next day, eating a packet of Doritos instead of an actual breakfast, the next morning, putting on just a hoodie and jogging bottoms and not showering till 8 p.m., 9 p.m. at night, or not showering at all and just going straight to bed and masturbating in the same trousers you're going to sleep in. Those sort of habits have got to go at a certain point. And I just think that there's a certain lifestyle that you should build once you get to a certain age. And like I said, it doesn't matter about success. It doesn't matter about having the nicest shoes, the nicest car. You can do a lot of these things on a budget. You can have nice shoes, respectable shoes for 50 quid. Or even less. You can get them for 30 quid. But they're not some old trainers with holes in, or a lot of friends of mine used to wear dirty trainers and stuff with the shoelaces not even tucked in, just coming out of the side, they didn't care. And they're my friends. I'm I don't give a fuck what you do. I like you for you as a person, but to benefit their own lives on a personal level, I just wanted to be just put some decent, just put some fucking decent shoes on, 30, 40 quid. Just give the impression that you're, a sophisticated modern man. You don't necessarily have to stand there and be with a hacky sack, just doing keepy uppies, dreaded hair and just fucking smoking weeds in a tank top. You don't have to portray this bum image. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to push that out there and be I'm going nowhere in life and I want the world to know it. Sometimes it's refreshing. You go on a beach, you wear minimalistic clothes. Sometimes you just want to fucking bum around. You don't want to dress like Dan Pena every single day and have on a waistcoat, 3-piece suit, whatever, and a cane. It's just not feasible, and I wouldn't want to do that either. There's lazy days I have where I'm like, well, not necessarily lazy days, but maybe like a lazy hour or two where I'm just like, I just want to sit in my jogging bottoms. I want to sit in a tank top like late at night, and I'm just going to go to bed after this. You know, it can't be on all the time. You might be tired after training or something. You don't want to then go, right, I'm going to sit in the house for an hour and put on a suit. Like, it just makes no sense, okay? But I'll always remember that guy getting out of the car and just comparing the two ages of the people that I had in mind at that time. And I was like, God, they're the same age, but their lives are entirely different. And my friend might have had more money than this guy, okay? But it's the perception. And this is what I just think things like washing up, laundry, having your clothes ironed, waking up at a decent time, going to bed at a decent time, eating foods that are healthy for you, that are going to prolong your life, that are going to give you a better quality of life and better skin, you know, taking care of your skin, exfoliating. I just think these are really mature habits, and I think this is what we should define as maturity, not this guy's got a baby in a house. You know, that's the sort of way that we do it now, is this guy's got kids, this guy's got a house, this guy is an estate agent, you know, he's a real estate agent. He must be mature. You know, we throw things out there like that. For me personally, it's the life habits, is what you do on a daily basis, the way that you speak, the way that you act, the way that you treat others, the way that you set your alarm for 4 a.m. to get up on a Monday morning and really hit the ground running, or you get up early on a Saturday. This is more important. You go to bed early on a Friday, no junk food, no alcohol. You wake up early on a Saturday morning, you hit the day running, you have 4 or 5 things planned, you tick them off methodically, and then, you know, you've had a productive weekend. If you wanted to rest more on Sunday or something, you can. You know, most of these guys that are successful at the top level, that are accomplishing decent things in their 30s and 40s, they're active every day. Even if they take a day off, they do something productive with that day off, like spend it with family, but actually go somewhere on a trip. You know, I just think a lot of these old habits that little boys have, like wasting 2 days watching Netflix and being like, oh, you know, it is a weekend, I'm just going to sit in bed, I'm going to eat shit. Your mind at some point has to stop and wake up and change and say, I want to be better than this. I have a duty as a man to fulfill my natural role, you know, to those around me, to other men around me, to the younger men around me, so that I can be a role model and a kind of barometer to where they can get in life and how they should act. You know, it's important to be that way. To women around me, to show that, you know, again, you are a real man, you're dependable, to give you, and a responsibility to yourself to give yourself a better life. You know, to your elders as well, to show that they raised somebody decent. I just think these sort of pillars of modern life is so commendable. I really like it. When I kind of get jealous but excited at the same time when I see, like, let's say I have a day off the gym. Let's say it's a Saturday, I wake up and I go, I never take weekends off on the gym, because I think if you do the gym in the morning and on a weekend, you're always productive. You know, you should take a day off on like a Wednesday or a Tuesday, because it's, you know, you're going to be at work doing something productive anyway. But I feel like you take the day off on the gym on a Saturday, you might have a whole lazy day. But let's say I did, okay? Let's say I took the day off on a Saturday. I think one time I was living in Toronto. I didn't go to the gym on a Saturday morning, which I always used to love doing. And it ended up being like 8 a.m. And there was this guy, like, we were walking down the road going somewhere, I can't remember. I think we were just like bumming around, just wearing like baggy clothes and stuff, just going to the shop. It was a Saturday, you know, just picking up a couple of things. We're going to eat breakfast and then decide what we were going to do that day. And, or I think it was just me. I think I was the only one who was awake. And I went to the shop, grabbed some milk. I needed it, whatever. I wasn't hitting the gym. I was having a lazier day. And this guy kind of pulled up next to me. And it was like, I think it was a blue McLaren, but I wasn't really into cars as much back then. But it was like this lovely blue McLaren, or I can't remember what it was. He jumped out. And he's wearing like really nice like leather jacket and nice jeans and stuff and nice shoes and whatnot. He's clearly obviously got money and he's in good shape and whatever. And I can't remember what he did. I think he just walked into a place that he was living at. I can't remember. But then he walked out with a woman who was stunning. He got back into his car, whatever. I was going in the shop, out of the shop. I could see this guy. And my life was pretty good at the time, okay? I wasn't on that level, but it was pretty good at the time. And I didn't feel jealous of this guy's car. I didn't feel jealous of his woman, whatever. I felt jealous of his cycle. I was like, fuck, it's 8 a.m. in the morning. This guy's already awake. He's clearly probably already hit the gym, because look at the shape this motherfucker's in. he's already like got in his car, drove up to whether that's his girlfriend's house or whatever, whether it's his house, he's picking her up. He's already gone and picked up this woman. She's getting in the car. They're about to go somewhere and do something for the day. I haven't showered yet. I'm bumming around in lazy clothes. I've got to go home, eat, shower, whatever, get ready. I'm 2 hours behind this guy on a Saturday. He's already, well, maybe more, maybe 3 or 4 hours behind. That used to, that infuriated me, but excited me. Because I was like, well done. I love that shit. Like, congratulations to that guy. He's killing it. That really gets me excited and motivated for my own life. But at the same time, I was like, fuck, what am I doing? Like, I'm jealous that he's already awake. I'm jealous he's already showered and hit the gym. And this is the thing. You've got to be ahead of the game, guys. Like, because other guys will leave you behind, and that gap gets bigger and bigger. And that's something that's always scared me but excited me, like I said. Like, it wasn't, like I said, it was jealousy of his timeline, but it's more a scared feeling of like, fuck, if he's doing that, what am I doing? Like, I'm falling behind. And I just wish more guys could feel what I feel. I hope maybe you do. I don't know. I can't get inside your head. But when I see a guy who's like successful in life, who's doing something that's deemed as mature, like taking his girlfriend out for a meal, and he looks like he's in shape and he clearly has a good job and a nice car and stuff, I'm like, that guy's doing bits. That guy's doing well. I like that. But it also scares me because I'm like, what am I doing? Am I doing enough? Am I getting up early? If I get up at 5 a.m., is that guy up at 3? Is he up at 4? What's he doing that I'm not doing? Does he know about certain cryptos that I don't know about? Like, that sort of vibe. And I don't know whether it's a competitive thing or like an ambition thing, but I wish more guys had that vibe of like, it's never enough. It's not good enough. You can have a better structure. You want to be a mature man. Maybe not it's never enough, but you want to be a mature man. You want to be a better version of yourself. I just wish more guys could feel what I feel, because I feel like that is my driving force in life. And if I could just bottle that up, put it in a drink and throw it to you, you would start getting up early, doing productive shit. You would start envisioning the man that you're going to be. Like, this is why I personally created the Male Advantage, and I get so excited about being like a 37-year-old man who's got his life in play. Like the Winklevoss twin, he's 39. He looks fantastic. He's always in the gym. He's an ex-rower. I actually know somebody who knows him and his dad. They know him really, really well. He said, they're always in the gym in the morning. They're always up early. They love their fitness. So did this guy that I knew. And I just love that sort of thing. I just love when a guy gets up at 4 a.m., hits the gym, is productive by fucking 9 a.m. when most people are sitting at their desk. They've done gym. They've done, like I said, facial exercises. They've done a skin routine. They've already done 2 meetings. They've already gone out for a nice walk, got some fresh air in the body. They've been in the office for an hour working. And most people, maybe they've read a book and like learnt a language for 20 minutes. They sit down at their desk and they're already like 4 or 5 hours ahead of everybody else. And then they're more productive throughout the day. They have like a schedule and they stick to it. And it just sounds very regimental and very like school-like. But I love that kind of thing, especially on days like this. I don't know if you can tell, the sun's shining, it's bright. It gets me motivated. I love this sort of thing. It just gives me a positive energy. It definitely comes from not masturbating as well. I really tapped into this feeling when I gave up porn and masturbation, where I just had like a new lease on life. Like, I wanted to be better. My mind started changing its thinking, rather than lying in bed all day and masturbating in like I said, you just sat there in boxer shorts and a tank top, just might have a quick can of beer or something. Like, I've never done it to that extent, but I'm just saying some people can relate, just playing games and eating fucking crisps or Cheetos, whatever. I love those guys that just get up early, just productive. It's like a Saturday morning and everybody's getting up and going, oh, I'm going to have a lie-in. I'm going to have another 2 hours in bed. Lovely that it's Saturday. Should we order some junk food and watch some films? And then there's another guy that's like, he's already been out for 5 hours. He's already trained. He's already gone out and made 5,000 off something. Not a lot of money, but like 5,000 in that day. That's an incredible amount just for one day. And he's done something productive. He's set up another project. He's organised 2 or 3 meetings. He's going and doing something later. He's taking his girl out for a dinner later. He's getting all dressed up. He's got a nice penthouse. Like, that sort of vibe is what got me into First Man. It's what motivated me. Seeing these guys that are outlier males that have ticked like 20 different boxes in life, and then they have this perfect schedule and routine, and they're always productive, and they never really if they take a day off, it's still a productive day. Like my dad was very much like that. Like, we're on holiday and he'd be like, okay, today we're going to go here and do this and look at that. You know, we might have a whole day where we sit on the beach, but he's like, okay, it's time to go and have a meal. Everybody put something presentable on. Let's go back. Let's get washed up, you know. Let's get in the shower and whatever, and everybody get changed, and let's go and have a nice meal at that place down the road. Like, there was never a minute's waste, if that makes sense. Like, he knew how to rest, but there was never a minute's waste. And I think when you've only got one life, it's such a commendable quality. I don't know if this is transferring through the camera. It's very organic video. It's just a sense that I've always had. And I hope other guys are getting this vibe and feeding off that energy and optimism. But there are so many guys that are in their 30s and 40s that are still little boys. They haven't developed yet. They haven't evolved. They don't have a daily structure. They don't have a goal. They don't have ambitions. They don't know how to become better. They don't know where, like, they get paid by their boss, but if they didn't, they'd be like, I don't know how to make money. I don't know what I would do with that money. I want to start a business, but I don't know where to start. Like, I don't know who to contact. Like, they've never posted a package. Do you know what I mean? They've never done these little things, like these little tasks throughout the day. They've never had to file for their tax. Yeah, it's just certain things. Like, they've never had to get into an ICO pre-sale for like a stock or a crypto or something like that. They just don't know these little things that I just think men should know how to do. Like, they should just have this broad range of knowledge and skill set. I find that sort of shit impressive. And then when you couple that with the gym, a good dress sense, nice assets, you know, I'm not talking, you don't have to be flamboyant. Like, you don't have to have the biggest house in the world with the nicest cars, but just respectable shit. You know, you go into a guy's house and it's clean. Everything's immaculate. You know, it's not American Psycho, but he's like cleaned everything. It's perfect. It's all laid out right. The feng shui's good. It's not like the bed isn't made. You know, you go in and the house smells a little bit. The toilet has shit stains on the bowl. Like, I just can't stand things like that. Like, the guy has a new toothbrush. Like, keeps it fresh. Things like that. He has like, you open his fridge and there's no shit in there. It's just all healthy stuff. You know, that sort of stuff. I love that. I love that. And that's what got me into First Man in the first place, is wanting to be one of those guys. And I think we're a generation now, like, anybody who's watching this, like, I'm 28 and I know you guys are scattered around my age, but we're either in that generation now or the next generation who has to hold that torch up for the younger guys, and they need it more than ever. You know, we need it more than fucking ever, but they need it a lot more than we do, because they don't really have role models like this. They have people like these rappers with like rainbow colored hair that are wearing hoodies and baggy cargo shorts and stuff, and they speak like shit, and they've only got money because some record label was like, we can manipulate this guy. You want to be the record label owner who's shown up in a suit, nice car, you know, actually has the intelligence and the business acumen. That's who I've always wanted to be. No, I don't want to be Justin Bieber with his fucking bleach blonde hair and, you know, he's wearing a tank top and he's not very articulate and he's just like getting into brawls and he's in the media and he's like just tacky shit. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to be that respectable man that sits at the height of society and can just has that broad range of knowledge to be like, okay, if we do this, this, and this, we're going to make this much money. We've got this coming up. Like, hyper awareness of what's going on in the news, what's going on in this industry. That's what really motivates me. And I feel like a lot of guys are getting to like their 30s and 40s and they just don't have any of that. All those bases that I covered there, you know, coupled with they're out of shape, they're unhealthy, they look like shit, they're 10 times worse than they were when they're in their 20s. They're still just drinking beer and like their minds just hasn't clicked yet. They don't realize they're going to die. Like, they haven't got that sense of mortality. Like, my best friend died when I was 18. My dad left when I was 14. I remember those two moments. I aged about 10 years, you know, probably physically as well with my hair going, but mentally I aged like 10 years when my dad left. When my best friend died, I aged another 10. And I remember just sitting there and thinking, I've got the mind of like a 40-year-old man. Like, I'm thinking so differently to anybody around me. Like, even people who are older than me, I was like, God, I wouldn't be doing that. Like, they were still going out drinking. It just, oh, it's nice, you know, we go out for drinks with all of us, you know, it's a great time, you should come along. I was like, no, that's my worst nightmare. Like, I'd rather invest that money into something productive. I was like 18, 19 years old. I was even thinking this sort of way at like 15 of like, I need to start a business. I can't go into a 9-to-5 job. I just don't really know where that's going to get me. I need to start something now. Like, these events just triggered my brain. And I think that's when people go through hardship. It makes them a more mature man. It makes them realize they have to pay their own bills. You know, they have to do their own washing. They have to take care of themselves. Like it's a proper man. It's a real man. And that's where I want to get you guys to. I want to get you in that mindset first. Now, anybody's watching this thing, this guy's full of shit. I don't understand what he's talking about. You're not there yet. Once that, if it's got to go in there before it cut, you see it in reality. I want to get it through this camera. I hope this is such a genuine video and authentic. I hope that passion comes through. And I hope I've relayed my image as well as I believe it has done through here. I just hope it's really gone through that camera and it's resonated with you guys. I think you've probably all got your own personal stories. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. It's a real passion of mine. Just becoming an outlier male. Just being that leading man in society. Just being a first man, if that makes sense, guys. That's why I started it. That's the message behind this brand. And I'm just fed up with seeing guys that are like 35 years old, 38 years old, 42 years old, and they've still got the habits of a teenager at university. This needs to change. And we can hold that torch for the next generation at least. If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio.